Flosstube, it's Janet with Janet Jabber. I'm coming at you with episode 318. If you're new to my channel, this is Channel Block Cross Stitch. I hope you like what you see. Please subscribe, comment, and do the YouTube things. And if you're a returning friend, thank you so much for coming back to see me this week. I have loads to share. I'm super proud of my stitching progress. I'm super proud of things I did in my personal life. I'm excited to share, but let's not forget, it's Halloween week. Look, I love it. Halloween is a bittersweet time for me. So if you have a little bit of positive vibes come Halloween and this upcoming weekend, please send them my way. It is Halloween itself is the 5th anniversary of the loss of my father and the 8th anniversary of the last time I spoke to my mom, because she had her surgery on Halloween and then never woke up. So it's a bittersweet. We love Halloween around here. It just comes with sadness also. I just try to embrace the change and go through the feels. So if you stick around to the end, I do have puppy updates to give, a mother-daughter retreat to talk about, and I got stitching to share. So let's dig into this and tell you what's going on. First of all, I want to remind you, in my description box below, you'll find a Happy Mail form, and that Happy Mail form is used to send out Happy Mail once a month. I send out cards. I love doing that. So if you want to randomly have a potential to randomly be picked for one, that's where you need to fill it out. There's other things listed there, and if there's information or a question you have that's not listed there, please give me a message at janetjabber@gmail.com, or you can find me on Instagram. Those are probably the best places to try to find me. With that being said, one of the things that is so usually enjoyed on this channel is my featured friend segment, and I am happy to report this time that I have Katrina to share her stitching. So I'm going to start out with, she is a fellow floss tuber. She is the crafty cataloger. So you can check her out and see what she's got going on there. And also I want to share what she has. So first of all, the first piece that I'm sharing to you has a bit of a story to it. It's called Bears and Blocks. She started this piece in the summer of 1999, intending to hang it in the nursery of her oldest child. That child was born 2 weeks early and she never got it finished. She said that's her story and she's sticking to it. Over the years, she'd said that she would finish it when her child, when he had his first child. And this year, that time was there. So up comes the next picture, which is a piece that she finished for her grandchild. And this grandchild is the first grandbaby, and it's called the Floral Book Sampler, and it was charted by Sarah at Stitching Mommy. I love these pieces. So it was super cute to see those. I love the story in the background. Thank you very much for sharing that with me, Katrina. And yeah, so those are super cute. And I love that you commented in here that the original one has totally the 80s, 90s vibes, but you're like, nope, we're still bringing that out. I have to tell you, if you hear whining in the background, I have my puppies in their cage. He went and had his walk, and you would think he's be tired, but he's not currently tired yet, and I want to record my video. So he is much more rambunctious, and it's just puppy stage. But all right, so what I'm going to get into next is what I was stitching on. I have a finish, which I normally finish these every single month. It comes pretty quick. This took a little bit more time because of travel, but this is the Mini Village of October. I only stitched half of it, and I turned the little lady with it to a gray hair. So this is the October by Country Cottage Needleworks. So fun to finish it. This year is flying by. I'm here to tell you, flying by, and those things are just finishing out. The next thing that I stitched on and then unstitched on, so I'm showing it to you anyway just to show you where I'm at on it. It is the Season Sampler Autumn by Blueberry Ridge Designs. It is supposed to be monochromatic, but if you've been here a while, you know that I've been stitching them with a Coloris and then pulling the 4 colors from it. So the border is complete. When I had seen you last, I still needed to do those 3 in the border and then start on it. So clearly I got those done, and then I placed my pumpkin wrong. So I unstitched it, and I did not get back to restitching it. So this is my slate where I'll be starting on, and we'll see where I get to in regards to that. I clearly try to still get that done in the season, and I've been very successful in regards to that. So let's fingers crossed that that still happens. The next piece that I picked, I started stitching on for the month of October because I just had the spooky vibes. So this is the Spooky Stroll. I've had it for a while by Autumn Lane Stitchery, and I thought it's time for it to come out. The color I chose was just a piece of scrap that I had, and that's where I got to on it. I did change the color of the pumpkin head. I love it so much more. So we'll see if I can possibly knock this baby out in this month of October stitching. I mean, we only got a few more days, but fingers crossed. It may go in a little bit further. The next piece that I have to share with you, I'm going to put a picture in here. It is the elf tree. I adopted this from Jordan the Tattoo Stitcher, and I just plug away with it every once in a while, and I actually put 1,000 stitches in on this. So this is what it's looking like. And I basically filled in the rest of these two, started that one, but I popped down here and I put a bunch of the pink for this mushroom that's going to go down here. I think I'm down to like just under 8,000 stitches on this, and then a whole lot of back stitching. But it has been fun. That was the reason I adopted this from her, was because the color of this fabric is not my norm, and I wanted to push myself to try something new. So that's why I did that. And I was lucky enough for her to send it to me. This next picture that I'm going to share is Self-Love, also referred to as Damn I'm Beautiful. I mean, there's all kinds of things. Kelly, Don't Run With Scissors, just finished this piece. This one is part of my game that I'm doing for Dancing with the Stars. It's attached to one of the stars that continues to be a top scorer. So it gets like 250 stitches every time Whitney is the top scorer on Dancing with the Stars. This is where I'm at with it. And what I did this time was I put this word in and I started here. So slowly but surely I'm plugging along on this, and you'll see it coming along. Now, if somebody gets eliminated on Dancing with the Stars, I still stitch on a piece for them because I have a piece assigned to every dancer that's on there. And this one was for Scott. He was eliminated, and this is the Christmas Gingerbread Village. The reason this was attached to him is Pelotonic, which is his music band, does a lot of Christmas specials. So I thought it was just like perfect for that to be the one. And with that being said, 100 stitches sometimes just doesn't take much. So the 100 stitches ended up being the bones of these trees. The bones of those trees got in, and that was my 100 stitches. But every stitch puts me a little bit closer to being done. This also probably looks familiar because I stitch on this every single month. I try to put like 300 stitches in on it to keep that moving along. I have two more stitching things to show, and they both have a purpose for them. I mean, yeah. So the first one is my football stitch. My Indianapolis Colts got 380 points, earned 380 points. So, nope, earned 38 points, which meant I had 380 stitches to do. And that is on this Indiana piece. I have, a couple people have inquired about it. So this is what it will look like. And I sent you the link for the Etsy store that I bought it. So if anyone else is interested, give me a shout out. I'll try to remember to put it in my description box because it has been asked for. It is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The 380 stitches for this week that I need to put in for the 38 points ended up being these colorway. And that is like 2 different colors. And I think it'll pop eventually because that's, colors and texture, or water and texture and all that. So it'll still continue to come. You just heard the jump. Ollie just decided, hey, it's time for me to pop up here and say, hey. Last but not least to share with you, Ollie, I need this stuff. Little noise, sorry. And then he can make himself happy there. Last piece to show with you is my butterfly Afghan. I am going to be a little bit behind, but I'm okay with that. So I got the stitching done, but the back stitching still has to be done for the month of October. Ollie wanted you to see his tail a couple times. That is what it's looking like. and it needs its back stitching done on there. And I'll be down to 2 more squares, November and December, but I am happy with where we're going on that. With that, that's all the stitching I have done. For plans for this week, I feel like I'm closing in on the month of October. I still have 2 solid things that I need to stitch on. So let's get that done this week, where I'm not going to make my goals, which is fine. They're just arbitrary goals for me, but I would like to get them done. And that's it, which we'll talk about what I got going on in a minute. But first of all, I did receive 2 things in the mail. If you've been with me for a while, you know Grace Notes Fabric. I am an ambassador for their fabric, and I love their fabric. They sent me, in it comes a little unicorn, and so, or a sticker, excuse me, and mine was a unicorn, and my little Ozzy is all about this right now, so that was perfect. She has been, I've been not showing it to her because I know. So if you are not current, if you haven't received your current Grace Notes fabric, please look away. I'm going to show it now. That's the name of it. I do get 18 count, and this is the beauty of it. Woo! I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Again, I love using their fabric. It is fun to stitch on. You can look back now. I'm not going to put any more sneak peeks in there, but thank you very much for that. I am so blessed that Corinne reached out and asked for me to be an ambassador for her fabric because I love it. Yeah. The next thing that I have, I hope to someday get to one of the Grace Notes Fabrics retreats. That would be spectacular because I would love to do that. The next thing I received in the mail, I'm not going to do a flip through, but if you've not received it yet, this is the Christmas time, Just Cross Stitch Christmas Time, the 2025 special holiday edition. That's what it looks like. I did look through this as I was traveling through the mountains, and it was fun to look through. So that's it. As far as my plans go this week, I kind of mentioned it. I've got 2 goals, 100% I need to work on and accomplish. So fingers crossed that gets done, because one of them would be a finish if I could figure it out. It's figuring out words for sunny days. I still haven't figured out what I want to put on that. And yeah. And the other one is I wanted to get some more on my, and it's for my Whip Go, so 500 is some, on my new start that I started when I was in Puerto Rico. So fingers crossed that happens this week. If not, it's not the end of the world. To tell you about my last week and maybe going into personal life and going into what's going on next week. First of all, I should have mentioned this at the top. I did had several people inquire about my bump on the head. Yes, I'm fine. I'm healing. The scars have healed over. Well, they're scars, but you know, healing takes longer than a week. This one right here is still a little bit bruised, but I am fine. And thank you for all the concerns in regards to that. I did take myself on an adventure on Tuesday, spur of the moment, down the town south of me. It's a bigger town than the small one that I live in. And they are having a fall 5 and 5. So 5 5Ks in 5 weeks. If you go to 4 of the 5, you get a beanie. You pay $1 a week to participate in it so they can recoup. It's fun. It's themed. Last week's was pumpkins and apples. So when you got done, there was a little tiny pumpkin, which mine's sitting over there, I would share with you, and apple, and then there was water and like some sugar, blah, blah. So it was fun. And Colton and I went together but separate. So we rode separate because he's a runner and I'm not, and jumped in and did that. What first of all was so fun for me was you actually had a bib number. I didn't expect that at all. So placed that bib right on me and took off. I walked all the way out. So you walked for their particular one. It's along a riverway. It's beautiful. And you go so far, halfway, and there's a cone that tells you to turn around and come back. So I walked all the way out, and I did a pretty good pace. I'm a person that if I can listen to music, I keep that pace. So I do need to find a really good pace song, playlist for that. But when I got to the halfway point, I was like, I feel like maybe I could do some jogging, walking. So I would run for a bit, and then I would walk, and I would run for a bit, and I would walk. And I was so proud of myself, I have to tell you, and I'm so excited to share this with you. I literally cried at the end. That, like, for one, this is one of the things in retirement that I'd so looked forward to. I so looked forward to being able to do these kind of events because I was a second shift worker and it was just not able to participate. But then I was more proud that I actually ran. I didn't let myself get in my head saying that I was old and I, you know, all the I shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't. And I just did it. And it was okay that if I only ran from here to that next bench, I did it. I did it. So I just wanted to share how, like, we can get in our own heads and stop ourselves from doing things. And it happens to all of us. I'm just proud of myself for what I did. And I wanted to share that with you. Other things that happened since I've seen you last is we did go get Picardy. It was a road trip to Baltimore. So it happened on Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday, my husband and I took off out of here at around 10:30 and got over there, had a hotel planned, you know, that what we were going to do because the next day we were supposed to get Picardy at 11 and roll back. Well, that was all dependent on traffic. They were traveling up from the plane flight. It left on Tuesday night, landed in Miami on Wednesday. And I found out later, like this particular rescue I was going through had 5 dogs, but the transfer van had more than that. So it's one of those big white transfer vans. And it had a stop previous to us, and then we were a stop, and then it had 4 more stops after us of dogs that had been rescued from Puerto Rico. And so basically, if you know anything about Florida and I-95, you're at the mercy of what the traffic is. So my time of 11 o'clock got pushed to 2:30. No, 3 o'clock before we ever got the dog, 3 o'clock, because there was a wreck literally right outside of where they needed to get to us at. So that all that to be said, our drive home was long. We made it home back on Thursday night, literally at midnight, and did a meet and greet with all the other dogs. Everybody went fabulous. This dog is definitely fitting in. He has energy that my others don't. My German Shepherd doesn't tolerate that, so she's like, chill out, be in your place, calm down. Currently, I'm walking the new dog and Gabby, my German Shepherd, together. I tried to do all 3, and that was not going to happen. I'm not losing faith because I do want to walk all 3 at one time. But currently, I'm walking my 2 dogs in the morning, or the new dog and Gabby in the morning, who is like very focused and driven and has to have her exercise. And then Stella, who needs exercise. She doesn't have to have it to calm down. I go on a second walk it's not as long of a walk, but it gets her out. And I take both of those dogs, Stella, my lab, and then the new puppy again for more energy exertion. So it's working out and I'm getting exercise. And my friend Melina was like, you're going to be running all these extra walks. You're going to be running those 5Ks with no problem. Thanks for the positive. But anyway, so that's happening with the puppy. Like I said, the meet and greet went well. He fits right in with the family. The babies love him, all of the things. So hopefully I shared a few pictures in regards to that as I was doing that. The next thing that I have and took up Friday night it was supposed to go through Sunday, but we called it Saturday night after it was just a lot. It was Camp Crosley mother-daughter retreat weekend. Lizzie and I had done this when Lizzie was like 8 or 9. And then we did it probably like 4 more times. And now it's been like 10 years since she's been there. And she wanted to share that experience with Ozzy. We knew that Ozzy was probably too little to be going into this, but we also knew Camp Crosley. So we knew there was something she'd be able to do. So I'm sharing pictures with you of all the things. We made sweatshirts to where it says, thank you for the lovely bouquet, because the theme for the weekend was wildflower. Ozzy was able to go down the giant slide. I went with her down that. Her mom went with her. She did it solo. It was so cute. She did they call it the giant jumping pillow, which is just, you're seeing pictures of it here. So that's the best I can do to describe it. We took hikes in the wood. We did a craft together. There was a couple of crafts, but she really only wanted to do the one, which was the flower tiara. And then like when you had lunches when you had your meals, you took it with everybody in camp, and they do it family style. So you got to meet other people that were also there. Lovely people, lovely place. I sent all 3 of my kids to this camp summer camp when they were younger. So it was good to go revisit it. And, but she was tired and we had slept crappy, the night that we had been there. So we basically were like, we can either call it and she missed the some more part, but she was not going to make it anyway because she was so tired, and come home and sleep in our own beds. And that's what we chose to do. And boy, was her brother and her daddy so glad to see her, and her mom. So it was good to come home, and I felt good sleeping in my bed. I'm not going to lie. I hope you enjoyed that little look into the mother-daughter retreat weekend and the road trip with Bacardi. It was good adventures, good times. My husband and I, like, since you were stuck in the car for so long, we literally talked about like vacation in the future and what you'd like to see. And like, it was good. It was really good. But with that, this upcoming week, I have like, I think I have a sewing day and a stitching day. I have Bacardi's getting fixed this week. He's a really good car rider, so that makes it good for me. And the 5K that I mentioned. I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, Halloween's this week, so I'll be there doing all that trick-or-treating business. Oh, I have a second 5K this week because Colton's work is doing a 5K, and the whole family, Jeff included, are all part of that 5K. That's on Sunday. So it's going to be a fun-filled week for sure. Lots of things going on. I hope that you guys are enjoying this fall weather and getting to do something that you love this time of the year. Thank you for being part of my life and sharing my adventures, because it definitely was an adventure-filled week this time, and I hope I didn't bore you too much because clearly I talked way more about my personal life than my stitching, but I was happy with my stitching goals. So we'll see what I get to on my stitching goals next week when I come at you post-Halloween and 2 5Ks under my belt. So I'm going to let you go to get on to your next cross-stitch video and see what's happening with other people's worlds. So please keep stitching, enjoy life, and I'm sending you so much love. Bye.